Hey, Joy.
Hey,
How are you?
Up?
what's going on?
Yeah. So,
Don't act like you don't do podcasts.
right.
She know what it
I'm
is.
shy.
Don't be shy. Welcome, everyone, to this episode of the More Watts podcast. We are in Rafa today, gentlemen.
We are. This is exciting.
It's very exciting.
Yes, for a couple reasons.
Talk to us, Chad.
One, you got my sister right here.
All the way from
Yes.
Philly. You know
From
what I'm
rapping
saying?
Philly.
Philly hard.
Yeah.
For real.
Introduce yourself.
Please.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ajua Abrokwa, and I am a cyclist out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
She's more than a cyclist.
Wait, but hold on. But can we talk about why her voice is so low?
Right.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ajua Abrokwa, and I'm a cyclist out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Copy that.
The first time I met her, it was on a trendsetter ride. Trendsetter ride.
Yes.
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 She was like, well, you was yelling something to somebody. You was upset.
She was getting on Chuck for wilding.
That's right.
He was killing him.
That's right.
Chuck doing the Chuck.
Yeah.
Chuck
being
doing the Chuck.
Chuck
Okay.
being
She was
Chuck.
yelling out instructions like, listen, stay on this side of the road. Signal when you pass.
was
Right.
like,
Obey the traffic signs.
Right.
Yeah. She was looking for them hand signals. Wasn't getting it.
Nah, that was good.
The funny thing about that is, like, I was up there with a couple of my fellow queens, and we learned to cycle that way early on. So, like, just calling out commands and trying to be, have like spatial awareness and road awareness, like
Yeah.
that's important. So, just trying to help Chuck out a little bit.
That's a
I
wild
don't
boy.
know. I don't even know if that's possible.
Right,
But I
right.
appreciate your assistance. We've been trying for a while.
So what are we doing here? What's today?
So today is a special day, right? We're going to, Joy and I are sharing a panel
Yeah.
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
Dr. Marlon Moncrief.
Yes.
We're
Yes.
talking about blacks in cyclists and
Yes.
diversity in cycling, right? So she has a
Yes,
book
yes.
by Dr. Marlon Moncrief. It's called Black Champions in Cycling,
Yes.
Desire, Discrimination, and Determination.
Absolutely.
So this is actually a pretty cool day, I think. Yeah?
It
I think
is.
so. I'm in agreement. Dr. Moncrief is here all the way from the UK.
UK.
Across the
Yeah.
pond, maybe.
Across the
Yeah.
pond, as they say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's out here.
Overseas, as we say.
Yes.
I know, how fitting. I just finished watching Top Boy too, so it's, I got the accent in my
Right.
head, but I
Bro.
can't really let it come out.
Chad, I got the bro.
I got the bro,
Bro.
but my accent is super trash. But I think it's really dope that he's here to spread the gospel. I'm gonna say gospel.
I think that's accurate.
You know,
Yeah, that's
the history of us in cycling. You know, that's really dope because before this book came out, I had no idea
Facts.
that there were so many of us.
Right.
Like this
Facts.
isn't just a trend. We've been really outside.
Yeah.
For a century or so,
Yeah.
maybe a century and a half. That's a long time to be outside.
Talking about Major
Yeah.
Taylor to now. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Right. And to see all those folks in the book and then where we are today, it's like we've done so much, but we still got so far to go.
Yeah. I think obviously the advent with social media and cameras just shedding a spotlight. That's really all it is. It's not like, oh, this is new. No, we're just now seeing all of this happen,
Yes.
but
Right.
it's been going on.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Definitely been
And see,
going
for me, it's like playing that punch buggy game. I don't know if y'all used to do that in the car with your parents. With the Beatles drive by, you'd be like punch buggy, no punch back. Like you never really see them. But
That's
then
some
when you
DC
start
shit.
recognizing them, yo, I'm from the area.
on. Yeah.
Well, the key point is though is once you start recognizing, right? Like we've always been here, as we say, we've always been outside. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
now it's just about the recognition,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
We got to end the marginalization of it, and just really recognize that we've always been outside. We've always been on bikes. We've always been champions with
Right.
bikes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. And I appreciate Rafa for being part of.
Oh yeah, shout out to JC and Jenna and the
Yeah.
whole Rafa NYC. We're down on Prince Street in Soho.
Yeah. I mean, Rafa as a whole, just being involved in something like this. A lot of cycling companies aren't really interested in the history of us.
Let alone
Facts.
promoting it heavy this way.
Yeah, like it feels like Rafa's invested into the culture, especially with the new commercial that came out with the Power Weave bibs.
Oh yeah, that was a
Yes.
dope.
Fire.
Well, Corey,
Yes.
Yes.
Fire.
With Corey and the I can't think of her name, but the young lady from the Bahamas.
yeah. Female cycle.
Yeah, they're in the
Man,
ad
I want to
together.
say Amy, but it's not Amy.
Yeah.
It's not.
No,
Yeah.
it's not. It's
But the-
Amber.
Amber,
Amber, come on
there it
now.
is.
I
Yes.
got y'all. It's
There
Amber.
it is,
Yes.
there it is.
She's from Barbados.
Yes.
Yes.
Barbados.
Yes.
Yeah, on Legion.
Yes, yes.
Yes. That was a dope twist for Rafa because that's not something you typically see from them, you know?
Or just from any company right now, or at least I can even think of in the past few decades. You really, at least again, maybe I'm wrong, and correct us if I'm wrong, but I have yet to see a cycling brand really go into acknowledging the BIPOC community, like Rafa has been trying to do over the last 2 years, 3 years, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm talking about outside of like models, right? Like
Yeah.
outside of people that are modeling clothing and that sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
But just really trying to uplift and showcase us.
Right.
I think Rafa's been doing an okay job of it. I mean, there's still room for opportunity for growth, but
Mm-hmm.
overall, though, I think that they've been doing they had a good start, I want to say.
Yeah.
I think they got the stranglehold put on them. No, let's not.
That's fine.
You know what I mean?
That's
Justin,
fine.
Corey,
They
and all them.
got a nice head start.
They've been pushed into that
Yeah.
direction. That's a good thing. With all of these brands, really, just recognizing who we are, and this is not the same, but the same procedure that Polo and Ralph Lauren is taking right now with the
Yeah.
HBCUs. That's crazy. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I know it's dope. I know
Yes.
it's crazy, but it's a little. All of these subject matters are sensitive
I mean,
to us.
as an
But
HBCU grad myself,
Yeah. One alum.
Yeah,
You
what do you
know.
think?
I think it's dope, but honestly, like take away Morehouse, Spelman, Clark, Howard. There are other HBCUs that I would
Facts.
have loved to see them to showcase.
Yeah.
Facts.
You know, there's the Bethune-Cookmans, the North Carolina A&Ts, the Gramblings. There's
Grambling, of
so
course.
many.
Yeah.
Lincoln University,
You know,
yeah.
like there's
Yeah.
so many. Like showcase those. Everyone knows about the Howards, the Morehouses, the Spelmans. You know, but like there's some of the smaller HBCUs that just aren't getting the love. I would have loved for Ralph to showcase those.
That's true. I mean, I look at it like how they always showcase, like if they're showcasing a top tier school, they always go to the Northeast, and they always go to Ivy, then they always go to
Right.
Harvard, Princeton, Yale,
Right.
We always forget about poor old Cornell up in Ithaca. Shout out Chad from New
top.
York. Or Brown out in New Hampshire. I'm just saying, but I think the campaign overall is a fantastic campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's shining a pretty bright light, and what's dope is how they went about doing it, right? Like 2 or 3 days prior to them launching their fall 2023 line and doing their show on their fall 2023 line, they made sure to launch that ahead of it.
Right. I mean, what's not talked about enough is the fact that the person responsible for it came from Morehouse.
Yes.
And that speaks volumes into like how we should be, you know, more inclusive in our hiring practices.
That part.
Because if that hire never happened, we would have never gotten this.
Facts, that's true.
You know?
And that is a part of the approach that we're looking to take and collectively are talking about taking when it comes to cycling, right? Like going into the community and having people of that community share in the direction that we are taking this, right? With any like large effort or initiative, we don't make decisions for people, you know, we don't assume things. No, you have to connect with those people and engage those people to better understand, like, well, how do you see this? What's your experience in this? And
Right.
I think that with the Rafas and the Treks and the Specialized and all the other cycling brands that are looking to try to be more inclusive, engage the people who you're trying to include to better understand what that really looks like and what that feels like and how you create that space so it's meaningful and it's intentional, not just assuming, well,
Right.
let's just get some, you know, BIPOC folks on bikes or some black folks on bikes. Well, no.
Put a T-shirt on them real quick.
Right.
I mean,
What does
Right.
that really mean? What does that look like? And be intentional about it. Like,
Yeah,
Right,
authentic.
I think the
But-
approach should be
Absolutely.
it should be reversed, like because you're right. Because as of right now, they'll be the brand and they'll try to bring somebody up or whatever and representation. But if you put your hands or go back the other way and say, listen, we're trying to reach. Clearly, they're trying to reach our community in some kind of way, whether it's for profit revenue, whatever the case is. But they're definitely trying to reach our community. So who better to speak to us than us?
We have the buying power.
Yeah, it's there.
Like we
and
really,
they know it too.
we really have the power of the dollar.
Yeah.
So how are you not talking to us?
yeah.
We will spend the money if you just explain to us what we're getting.
And I think it starts with, you know, like some of the grassroots things that like Ajoa is doing.
What am I doing?
You know, so a whole lot. So why don't you take a spell and tell us a little bit about your journey into cycling, how you got started. What are your motivations? What are some of the fantastic things you're doing right now? Let the people know.
Okay, so how did I get into cycling? Bought a bike, was talking to a friend, trying to engage in some health and wellness practices. It was COVID. I'm a runner, didn't want to run. I had been exposed to cycling a couple years prior to. I had a family member that cycled, so I was interested, and I purchased a bike. I got on the bike, I started riding, started to love it, kept going. I haven't been off the bike since. And a part of, like, one of the ways that I see this is, like, there are personal and individual goals that I have, and then also, like, the way my mind works is like, okay, what can we do with this? Big W, right? Because I know how it makes me feel. I know how, how excited I am around cycling. So I'm like, how can we create a space where we have more people having this experience and feeling like this and becoming engaged? One of the things that I did that helped me was I joined a club. My first, engagement with a cycling club was with the Kings Rule Together Cycling Club, KRT. I'm going to shout them out.
Shout out to KRT, Karan.
Yes, because I met Karan in a parking lot. He invited me to come out and ride with them.
That sounds wild. I met Karan in the parking lot.
Literally, yep.
On the bike. We were in the bike on the parking lot.
He was dressed up in his kit, and I was pulling my bike out the car, and he came over. He said, "You ride?" I'm like, "I have a bike, we doing a little something." And he invited myself and my first cycling buddy, Yasmin Watson, out to ride with them.
Shout out,
and,
Yas.
Shout out, Yas.
definitely going to shout out Yas. And we were excited, and we both agreed, like, yeah, we're going to go do it. And we did it, and that's how, like, QRT got formed, and some other queens joined in. And the more we rode, the more women became interested. And now it's grown into such a inviting and exciting community for a lot of different people, and I'm happy to see the impact that it's having, just promoting that community and health and wellness and togetherness, and that's important.
Very important.
That's dope.
So then I became more acclimated with social media, and I started, like, posting pictures and putting, blogging a bit about it, and, like, folks that don't ride bikes, that aren't active, started talking about how inspiring my story was. And I've always been active, but to be committed to something like this, it really, I think, inspires other people, because they're like, wow, you're really, like, on that bike 5 times a week at minimum, you're traveling with it, and this is dope. I want to know more about it. And that excites me, because it's like, we want to be, like, how does the song go? Walk it like I talk it. Like,
Yeah.
my
Walk it like I
background,
talk.
my background professionally is health promotion and wellness. I'm a public health, like, person. That's what I do. That's what I live. That's what I breathe. And to be able to also put the actions behind it, on a personal level, and show folks, like, yeah, I am promoting health and healthy behaviors to prevent the onset and spread of disease. And this is what I'm doing, and this is how I'm doing it. And I didn't start out with a real fancy bike. They're not cheap. I'm not going to hold you.
Say it again.
They're not cheap.
Word.
But, one of the things that I think about is commitment and sacrifice for, what I value. So for me, I kind of reallocated some funds and purchased a bike. But one of the things that I want to do personally, because I know there are some people who don't have funds to reallocate like that, but they would benefit from the activity, they would love the activity, and I would love to continue to do work that helps connect them to the activity. Financial insecurity is huge in our community, right?
Yeah.
So how do we encourage folks to engage and let them know this is a welcoming space, but also help them understand, like, we're going to try to figure out how to eliminate that, like, social economic barrier.
Yeah.
That's a barrier for a lot of folks. And a part of what I'm doing to help try to eliminate that and get that ball rolling is this summer, I'm offering a 2-week camp for girls in the Philadelphia area, ages 14 to 18, where they're going to have, like, a really comprehensive cycling experience. So we're going to talk about, first, like, just self-esteem and self-development, and, do some goal setting, and, what their thoughts are around, health promotion and wellness and setting health goals. And then on top of that, they're going to get exposure to the various pathways in the cycling industry. So even if you're not the most active person, but you want to, you're interested in bikes, you'll try riding, but you don't want to really ride regularly or you don't want to race, that's fine. But you're into like culinary. Well, you could consider, making like nutrition snacks or,
Please.
something
We need
that is
that.
focused, towards nutrition. If you're creative, you could look at like kit design or bike design or, express your creativity in that way, helmet design. If you are like into STEAM and into engineering, you could definitely look at bike mechanics and how, these group sets that we're using, kind of what are the mechanics behind all of that. So there's like a pathway for almost anyone. If you're an entrepreneur and you want to start a bike shop, I have someone, to talk up to them about what that looks like and what that can look like. And we don't have a lot of African American or women of color that are doing these things. Like, we don't have a lot of people of color engaged in this way.
What's the
But-
spot in Philly?
Tricycle shop?
The Tricycle Shop. We're going to shout you out, Tricycle.
Tricycle. What's up? Tricycle.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then also Bike by Design.
Bike by
By
Design.
Design.
Yep. So
Yeah.
we have two. We have two
Yeah.
now. And that's huge for us.
That's
And,
huge.
for me, it really sends the message that we can do this. There's a space for us here. And Tricycle has 3, like, co-owners. Collectivism, right? Come together. Let's put our heads together, put our resources together, and get it started.
Collaborate, people. You know what I'm saying? That's
Yep.
how we
That's what
supposed
it's
to do it.
about.
Word.
It is. It is. I have a question for you, though.
Sure.
What are some of the challenges you faced so far? Right? Because you're saying that you're outside, you've been on your bike, how you met Karan, right? Like, what are some of the things that you face? Because I'm pretty sure your voice is going to be loud and resonate with a lot of women that have come across or experienced some of the things that you've experienced.
Okay, so an initial challenge is fitness. Just thinking that you have to be at a certain fitness level to engage. I mean, I'm athletic. However, cycling lends itself to a different level of fitness,
Say it again for the people in the back. It's not the same.
it's something that you develop over time. So don't let that be a deterrent, from you becoming engaged. You just got to work at it, be consistent, and, be committed, and you will develop into that cycling person that you want to be. But it's
Yeah.
important for you to just, know that don't let the fitness be a barrier. For me as an individual, apparel. Finding apparel that is modest for me to wear, as I'm on a bike, so I can be safe and be covered. It's challenging. We're working on some things, but the apparel and the cost of everything, like everything costs. I'm like,
Yeah.
when I got the bike, I thought I was good. I got a helmet, but then it's the shoes, it's the apparel, it's the bike computers, the lights, it's the water bottles, the bottle cages, the helmet, all the things.
Going down the list. Yeah.
Literally.
I
Yeah.
had to create a line item for, in my budget for just like cycling expenses. And then to go as far as, wanting to travel with the bike. We have a large community. It's not only Philadelphia, it's not only Jersey. Like, I've traveled with my bike to Miami, Florida. I've gone to California. I've gone to, I don't know where, North Carolina. I'm going to North Carolina next weekend to visit some of my friends down in Bank City. I have a bike suitcase. So my bike travels in a suitcase.
A bike suitcase.
Yes, these are
All I
some
heard
of the
was
things.
cha-ching,
Right,
cha-ching,
right.
cha-ching.
Dollar
But you know
signs on the
But you
eyes.
don't have to do it all at once.
Over the head.
No, you don't have to do it all at
No,
once,
we don't.
and utilize your resources. Have I lent out my bike suitcase? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
If you know someone who can support you, you reach out to your people. We're a community, like family, and we want everyone to have a wonderful experience. So, we work together.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
But-
That's what's up.
And then also, further from that, going to races and being, the only African American Muslim, identifiable Muslim woman in the space, that could be, a bit challenging. People don't know how to receive me. People are trying to assume and guess, and it's just like,
So you dust them
whatever
real
it
quick.
is. No.
Wait, but she
I'm
totally
here.
skipped over the fact that she's racing.
Yes.
When I saw that last season, I was like, yo, that's so fire. I was like rooting for you from long distance.
Long distance.
So
From
here's the
3,
thing with
Steph
that.
Curry style.
Aisha McGowan. Yes.
Yes.
The
Oh,
first
Aisha, yes.
Yes.
African American woman pro racer. So she put out for a grant, which is actually open now for the second go round, the Abundance micro grant. And the grant last year was for any level racer, any level cyclist who wanted to race, thought about racing, have raced, like wherever level you were on, it was open to you to apply. And she was covering your race entry, your travel expenses, your you got a stipend to go to the tour of the American Dairylands. A tour, right? I had never-
Multi-day race.
multi-day
Yeah,
race.
big race.
For those who
Fi-
don't know, look it up.
That's a
Dairyland.
big race.
Huge,
Big race.
huge, okay, in Wisconsin. So I went back and forth with myself because I'm interested, and I'm always one. If there's an opportunity, I check it out to see if it's something for me, and then I normally go for it. That's just my way. But I did. I applied, and I was awarded the grant, and I went to
you go.
race.
There it is. There it is.
Nah, she's
Yo,
And
this
here's
is
the
dope.
thing with
Just
that.
hearing
Listen.
this journey is amazing.
Yeah.
Well, I'm real big on exposure and experience, right? And you
Double
don't
E.
know until you're exposed.
That's a fact.
And you don't know until you have an experience, right?
Yep.
But once you've been exposed and once you had the experience, you can be like consciously make a decision. Is this for me? Is it not? Is this not for me? If you never have the exposure and experience, you never really know. And that experience changed things for me on multiple
Really?
levels.
Well, wait, how did it change it for you?
Having the courage to even just go to the start line, right? I could talk myself out of doing 1,001 things. And racing, when I saw like the stats of the women that were going to be in the field, and it was like a field of 56, I could have easily said, you know what?
Not today.
It's
right?
not for me.
Today.
Yeah. I'm outclassed here. Like this is not my thing. However, I didn't do that. I was nervous. I'm not gonna hold you. I was nervous. But exposure and experience. And after that first race, I came in last, and I was so excited. I was excited for the next one.
Yeah.
For me, it wasn't really about trying to like place and get a podium and all of that. It was really about me just having the courage to engage and getting that experience and not wrecking my bike, not wrecking myself.
Right.
And my boxes were checked and my goals were achieved. And I was able to come back and tell a story about that experience to encourage and inspire others. Don't be afraid. And of course, you need to train and you need to, best prepare yourself. However, do that and then go out and compete and
Right.
show up, because we were the only team of color there in the women's field. We're not doing that. We gotta get our women up here, get our women out, and have them have those experiences and engage, because we have talent. And
You
we'll
needed to
never
go
know.
to show other women.
For
that
sure.
experience. You needed
Right.
that.
And that's what I feel like my purpose was. We all of the women that were there had a purpose in being there, and I feel like my purpose was to just show like other women like me, you can do this.
You can do it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's always so interesting how they paint black women in sports.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like black women don't exercise and care about their health and
Mm-hmm.
their fitness. And now all of a sudden there's this big push.
Mm-hmm.
It's like y'all just woke up.
Right.
We
do it all. I'm a mom
Yeah.
of 3.
Talk
I'm
about
a
it.
mom of 3. I have a college sophomore. Yes,
Wow,
at George
congrats.
Washington University, GW. I'm
Wow,
gonna shout you
GW.
out. Yes,
I'm
I
a
have.
colonial. I'm a colonial. I'm actually an alum.
Are you?
Yes.
How amazing is that? My son is a high school senior, and then I have a kindergartner. And I still make time, and they know. See, the thing is, in our house, fitness and wellness is a part of our family culture, like our structure. It's a lifestyle, and they know, and they engage, and my kids are active, and they know mommy's cycling. We got a little baby trainer in the house. When I'm on my trainer, she's on hers. She got her bike.
so dope.
My son has his bike. My daughter runs. Like, we're active, and that's a part of what I want to be displayed more, and also just become a social norm in our community.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be cycling, right? You can be, hiking, or you can be running, or you can be walking, or, playing tennis. Whatever it is that's your thing, make it your thing, but be engaged, be active, and, we want to promote health.
And do it with your family.
Yes.
That part,
know?
yeah.
In your village, right? Like
Your
your
village.
family and your extended family.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's what I've seen. Like, that's one of the things that excites me so much about our cycling community. Like, we have come together. When I see all the different clubs just out there posting, like we were outside today just riding, I get excited. I'm like, yes, I don't care where you are. It's folks out there riding those bikes and connecting with one another and supporting one another. And we do that in our community. You know, so many times you see displayed on social media and on television all the negativity, but there's so much positivity, and it's on all levels. And we show up for one another, and we support one another. And you see that a lot in our cycling community, and
That's
I love
what
that.
was what was so fire about Miami. Then when y'all was out in LA, I was jealous. I ain't gonna lie to you. I
You
was
should have
jealous.
been. You should have been.
God.
Legion, you heard that? They were jealous that they didn't make it, and they should have been.
Wow.
All Clubs LA.
Wow.
You see,
Yes,
they're
I'm not
jealous.
gonna lie.
They
It's been a
didn't
long
make it,
time
and
since
they
I
should
felt
have
that way
been.
about not being somewhere.
It's very rare I get jealous over seeing someone climb 4,000 feet of elevation.
Right. It's like, bro, they having so much fun. I mean,
wanna
it
end
just
on
looked
that.
like so much fun.
It's a lot of fun. And see, that's the thing. Climbing those hills. When we went to this last event, All Clubs, and there was the ride I went on Saturday, and like right before we got to that Korean bell that we went to,
Yeah.
there was like this strange hill, and it's one of those hills like you have to keep going. You have to keep your feet spinning, or you're going to fall.
Yeah.
And I really don't like those. However, we were doing it together, and it's just like you saw people going up the hill. I was like, all right, you're next. And in your head, you just tell yourself, just all you got to do is keep pedaling. Once you get to the top, you can fall out if you want,
Right.
but just keep pedaling so you don't fall down this hill. And I worked up the hill, and I got up there, and then it's just like, you made it. You know you can do it.
Right.
You tell yourself you can do it, and you do it, and that's it. And then if you have the energy, you tell somebody else they can do it too. Because somebody was telling me, like, girl, just go ahead. You got it. You got it. I'm like, all right, if they said I got it, I guess I got it.
That's super encouraging. We setting goals for, like, you know, lifetime goals for your kids, for yourself. But the thing about the community aspect that we have in cycling, and just even when you're as an individual, if you get on a bike, there's a goal set for the day. And so you're gonna reach that. So it's this is a microcosm of just what we're going through in life, and then it's just crazy how deep this goes. And I'm glad to share it with y'all for real.
Yeah, for
That's the
sure.
dope thing about cycling is it's like a representation of life.
Yes.
You know, like we're gonna catch flats and our chain may come off, but we gotta fix it and get back on and keep pedaling. That is like life.
It
you know,
is,
like
it
things
is.
will stop you from going up that hill, but fix it and keep going.
Yes.
You know?
I came in last, I told you, in my races. That did not stop me. Well, here's the thing. Because in my head, I'm riding my race. I'm not riding the race of the next person. I'm not worrying about anyone else. I didn't stop early. I completed every race that I've done. You know, I saw some women kind of coming off the course, like, I'm done. I can't do this no more. I didn't do that. And that's how I am in life. My Instagram name is She Is Focused Next. I'm one who keeps going. I'm always focused on my next. And I'm looking ahead. I'm not looking behind me. I look to the side of me because I want to make sure, are you still there? Are you still there? Are we here together?
Right.
But we're moving forward. And yeah, this journey that I'm on, I'm doing this. Now, there are people you meet along the road. You all, I didn't know you all a year ago, but
Right.
we are connected now. We will be connected. And
Because she is part of Black Watts.
I am.
You didn't know.
I am a
Part
part
of
of
that
the
free
Black
agent
Watts.
squad.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to do this together. And we talk about movement. It's movement with a big M. And we're going to make
Yeah.
some major moves in this industry and taking up a lot of space. So for those that are not ready, I don't know what to tell you,
bad.
but
That's
we're here to
good.
take up space, and we're going to do it in a major way together, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's dope. I mean, I have a question for you.
Beautiful things, man.
Tell me one thing that was super embarrassing for you when you got into cycling.
I showed up to like maybe my second ride. So we rode with the guys on Sunday. So Monday I showed up and I had on like a fanny pack, a real big fanny pack with all this stuff in it. And I know Yas was like, what do you have in there? I'm like,
Treats.
stuff, my things. I had a fanny pack, you know. I had on these bright pink sneakers because they matched my bike a little bit. But I'm out there riding bikes.
Right.
And it's so funny because when I look at how I showed up on day 1 and 2, And now,
Yeah.
how I show up, I'm like, ooh,
Right. You look
don't
back,
get rid of those
right,
pictures.
Listen. Every single person
Has that.
Everybody went through that.
Yeah.
I think that's
Has
dope.
that.
That's still dope.
Yeah,
Even though it's
it
crazy,
is.
it's
I
still
asked
dope.
that question because I want people to understand, like, you don't have to come into cycling feeling like you know it all or
Yes.
you look like a pro.
Yes.
You know, like, come as you are and understand the sport, and you will naturally evolve. You know, like I still have embarrassing moments as a cyclist. Like, I might fall over in the next bike ride. You know?
I thought you were going to talk about on our last ride.
I am. On our last ride, I had my bibs inside out.
For the whole ride.
Y'all was serious
whole-
about that.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
Yeah.
Was it chamois was on the
Chamois
outside?
was on the outside.
Yes.
What was wild is he didn't know.
Nobody knew.
I didn't realize until like almost at the end.
At
I
the
was
end.
like, Chad got on some, because you know, Chad and I was trying something new. And Aka's like, y'all are jumping out the window. So I'm like, damn, Chad got on some different bibs right now. I'm behind him like, yo, like,
You got them gravels
Nah,
on.
like-
Them cargos.
yo, you got your twin inside out, bro.
It was the Rafa Pro bibs,
Yes,
actually.
yes, yes.
Fancy. The
Yeah.
inside out, reverse.
Inside out,
But the
reverse.
chamois is black, and typically the chamois is red in some bibs, you know, or different colors.
Yeah, yeah,
So I'm rushing to meet these guys, be on time.
right.
Yo, but it wasn't like I was like, oh, I don't quite feel so well.
Right, right.
You know, it was all good.
But that's what also something that's dope, right? Like, you didn't even know. It didn't impact your riding or anything. It didn't deter how you
Still had
felt.
fun on the ride.
Yes.
You know, I still enjoyed the ride. Didn't impact performance.
One of the experiences I had that could possibly be parallel to that is when I first clicked in. So these people that I was riding with, I ain't gonna say no names, kept like, you still got on sneakers, you know, it's time for you to click in, time for you to click in. I'm like, I was scared to click in because I'm like, how am I going to remember to like get my feet out and, you know, all the things that come along with that. But I fell pressure, you know, I fell to the peer pressure and I got the new pedals and I got my new cycling shoes. But I put them on the day that we were going for a ride. Like, I had no practice. So no one told me.
You're going to learn
like,
today.
You're going to learn today. We have a video of the end of that ride where they were talking about how many times I fell. And it was like those slow motion falls.
Yes.
Like, you could see it before it's happening, but there's nothing you can do. And I'm like, I thought I clicked out, but down she goes. And
Right.
it was just so crazy because although I fell like 7 times, that was a really fun ride, and I was loving it.
Yeah. When
Yeah.
I think one of our main rides that we went on, we first started getting together and all that. This guy right here, he's a bit of an expert.
Talking about when I
When I hit
took
that
it down
dang
in the
cockroach.
grass,
He took it down in the grass and he just laid there.
lay
like
there with my
this.
bike up, holding it up
Yeah.
on
He
my
just-
back.
I think I have a video of that somewhere.
Nah, there is one.
Yeah.
Yes, and like, but it was high grass though, like bushes almost, right? It was like
Yeah.
as high as our knees.
Yeah.
So I'm like down in it, and you just see the bike.
Yeah, but that's for everybody. It's a whole bunch of things that go along with that. But everybody goes through it. Everybody's a beginner. But I guarantee if you start, you're gonna catch the bug. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And so just come on,
Some of
get
you-
on this bike real fast, man.
For sure. What's one of y'all most like favorite? One of your most favorite rides that you've done thus far.
Miami to me.
Miami.
The
Pedal with
Miami
the
trip.
pros?
The Miami trip
That
for me,
That was
hands
dope for y'all?
down.
I would say Miami.
The Miami trip.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because of the routes or because like I've been on some, like, for example, I think the Bear Mountain route these guys haven't been on yet, but they're going to go on it this year.
I am?
Y'all are going.
Okay, sure.
It's a dope route, right? It has flats, lots of climbing on it, right? Very challenging, and you kind of reach the apex, the summit. Miami wasn't that. Miami's flat. It literally feels like you're in erg mode on the trainer. What made it dope for me was just it was everybody else.
Yeah.
It was like, wow, look at this community.
It was
And
like
look-
homecoming.
Yes.
Yeah.
Word.
Sweet.
I've only gone to Howard's. So that's what I know, and it was
I'm
like
sorry.
that. look. Shout out to CAU. Shout out to CAU and all the
Sorry.
CAU
Oh,
alum.
man, you haven't been to an homecoming.
Yes, Shad always holds y'all down.
Nah, that ride was fire. That's definitely my favorite. And it's my favorite because 2 parts. Like we got to literally ride with Justin and him. Like we was, sharing wheels and all that. So everything was a good look. But not getting dropped, but basically the big part of the group ride, you kind of get separated. You got to find your way. So I think one of the young ladies from KRT, Kim, with the braids. Is that her name, Kim?
Kimberly.
Oh, Kimberly.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
with the blonde braids.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're
Yeah.
still blonde.
Yep.
Yeah.
One of the guys from our group, AR, and her and myself, we got separated off after the bridge, and everybody knows about the bridge in Biscayne Bay, so it was kind of tough. But we all got together. It was like, yo, somebody got a map, and somebody knows how to get back. So traveling back and just going through that experience was dope. That was definitely my favorite so far for last year. That was fire.
Shout out to Kim, because we got separated and we was, I don't know, we was in the hood somewhere. And she was, what did she ask me? She said, do you know how to fight?
Yeah, y'all was in Little Haiti real fast.
I said, yup, you good.
Right.
And then her husband ended up calling, and he was like, hey, where are you? She was like, oh, I'm with Chad from Black Watch. He's like, oh, you straight.
Hold each other down.
But
man.
that just speaks to like the brother and sisterhood that we have, part of the cycling communities, that we just naturally want to look out for each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just met her that day,
Yeah.
and I was like, yo, like, if this is my wife or my daughter, I gotta make sure they straight. So I'm gonna make sure she's straight.
Facts.
course.
You know
Facts.
what I'm saying? Like,
that community.
I want someone, if my daughter's on a bike ride when she's in her 20s or 30s, and there's a gentleman that wants to make sure she's good.
Yes.
You know, so like, that's the village that cycling has created.
Right.
Definitely.
Paying it
Where we
forward.
go, I want to be able to call someone and be like, hey, I'm in town, let's go on a bike ride.
Yeah,
Word.
You know?
for sure.
Word. So we do this thing, Joa. It's called Chris's Coach Corner. Coach Corner Chris or Coach Chris, where I give like a 2 to 3 minute educational lesson.
Okay.
So today is going to be about recovery, right? So you spoke about riding 5 days a week. There are a lot of people that get out and exercise and do it daily with different levels of stress. But one thing that cannot be overstated is the importance of rest and taking a day to rest. And as a part of that recovery, it's also about stretching, maintaining your mobility, hydrating, fueling properly. So that means eating the right foods, like things that can restore your glycogen or your energy in your legs, things like that, making sure you still have protein, especially for some of our older riders. And the last but not least, but one of the most important things is sleep. Sleep is so important. Look, I got this little device on my wrist. It's called a Whoop. And it tells on me all the time when I don't sleep. And
He
it's
doesn't sleep, by the way.
Trash,
Yes.
I
B.
does not sleep.
I gotta erase my little post on Strava because I'll be embarrassed. Like, my sleep
his
time
Whoop,
was
so
like 10 minutes.
Whoop gives you a recovery score as well. And it basically says, think of it like a traffic light. Red, yellow, green. Red is like you're trash. You didn't sleep at all. What are you doing? Sleep some more, right? Or rest some more. I've been in the red more times than I would like to admit, right?
Same.
And one of the things that I always try to make sure I tell my wife as well as my kids now is the importance of sleep. Whereas before I was like, you sleep when you die, like, you know, you just work and you get it done. But now I really understand, because of cycling actually, how important rest and sleep is. Because if we're riding today and then tomorrow we're going to do a big ride, but I have been riding all week and I haven't been resting, I won't be able to enjoy myself the same way I would if I would have rested and recovered properly, because now I'm like, I can't keep up. Or everybody's like, yo, are you okay? Right? Because it's, you know, if you're going a 40, 50 mile ride, it's pretty evident if you haven't hydrated properly, right? It's pretty evident if you haven't fueled properly, right? And it's also pretty evident if you haven't rested.
Your whole
Right?
vibe will be
We
off.
know.
Yeah, we can tell.
You get to spitting,
Yes.
when you get
tired.
to spitting on the ride,
When you get to spitting on a
Son's
ride.
tired.
That's
Do
what
you
that
know
means?
about this phenomenon?
No.
So there's this thing, right? Chad and I laugh about it. But in all seriousness, like, we feel there isn't anything that's been scientifically proven, but from the Chris and Chad research department, we have decided that when you are dehydrated and you are in need of nutrition and the work is hard, you just spit.
yeah,
I mean, like, constantly.
yeah.
Seriously?
It's
Yes.
not on some like, oh, my allergies is
No. It is like excessive. It is very excessive. And it's actually pretty disgusting, but we think it's funny. Like a
That's
kid
how,
was
that's
like,
how I know
Right.
somebody's toasted. I'm definitely not riding behind none of that.
Okay.
I see you like
so
that.
if you ever see someone spitting a lot, just know that they're having trouble.
Okay.
They're not doing it to be like obnoxious or rude. They're physically having trouble, and that is their response
Yeah.
That's
to the
good
trouble
to
that
know.
they're in.
Yeah. So don't get behind
So
them.
don't get behind them. Definitely don't, and probably try to stay from left or right of them too.
Correct.
Yeah, because I don't want to
So
be spitting.
recovery
Get them a bottle.
is what our lesson for today is. So we had today's show was pretty good.
Yeah, we're about to get started
Yes.
on this on this event here.
Thank
in
you so
Radford.
much for coming.
Yes.
Thank you for having me on here. Like, this is super exciting.
Yes.
You guys are amazing, and I'm just looking forward to the future. Like,
Tell your friends
Definitely.
we need more women on our pod.
we're
Yes.
going to get more women up here. We're going to get more women on a pod. I'm bringing a
On
group
a
of women
bike,
up here
too.
with me in June.
That's what's up.
Juneteenth weekend.
And we're going to get them all on the pod.
Oh, we got some exciting things happening for Juneteenth weekend. We can't tell you right now. But
Am I going to be up here?
Yes.
Come on, you know I'll be around.
Yes.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I'll be up here.
we got some really exciting things happening that weekend. So
We
we're
do.
super excited to have you come up and partake
Partake.
in those events with
Yeah,
us.
definitely.
Absolutely. I can't wait.
Y'all come out too, man. Stay tuned for that.
So another good episode, guys.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
For our wonderful guests. If
Thank
I had an applause sound, it'd be like, shh.
We got that.
We have it. I don't know
Make it
what
work.
button it is
Right,
on the
but
board.
we're gonna make sure it gets in there to applause. We may even put a little crown on your head that's like tilted to the side, Biggie style. Right?
Appreciate
Love
you.
it. Yeah.
Appreciate you. Thank you
y'all.
so much for being
Thank you.
on.
Thanks, y'all.
All right, we out.
All right, more Watts.
More Watts.